Hi Virgo, if you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. My name is Steph. Earlier in the month, I created an ink blot in your name and essence, and we are going to flip it for perspective possibilities. If you'd like to take a screenshot so you can scry on your own time and terms for shapes and symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses. Virgos will add on tarot and oracle, and as well where the ghost gif is here, we have ghost tube kicking for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate, respectively. Please receive or release freely. Virgos, you know the drill. If you are familiar, an OG, and if you're new, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to take a moment to open up. You're welcome to join me, or you can fast forward through. Taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and to honor of the Virgo Collective. Virgos, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. Let's go. So you know the drill. Again, if you want to take a screenshot so you can scry on your own time and terms, versus, listening to my yammerings, but I appreciate the space being held. Wow, okay. I can't help but sense there's like major manifesting going on here, and you might be working with the pink ray or something about the color pink. There's a kindness. Oh, and hopefully you don't feel that that's a weakness. But maybe, interesting, for some rabbit hole, maybe your kindness has been taken advantage of. Manifesting. Very large magician vibes. I see there's a man right here. It's like a bust of a man. Just the head. Yeah. Head and shoulders. Knees and toes. Knees and toes. Okay, for some Virgos, because this masculine energy or male. Now you might sense they've crossed over. They've crossed over. This also could be for some a masculine energy of the self or another that is like in a moat. I don't feel like they have quite the access to you from a holistic whole space. They are, and I say they, but it could be again your own energy, something about the maybe they're like kind of running because I'm seeing it like a pen or something where like you go back and forth. You're welcome. You're back and forth. But they don't have access to something. This could be somebody external to you. Male energy or masculine energy, male or female expressed. But it's like they're in a little bit of a moat. I'm not going to keep saying the same thing, but I don't know how else to say that. You know what it's kind of like? It's like I'm hearing in my head, like, think about, not in a punishment, but it's like, think about what you've done or think before you say. This feels external toward, or it feels like an external energy, but the Virgos are kind of holding that boundary and saying, please think before you say something. Because there's a reason why this energy doesn't have access to your aura. But they've come in, or maybe it's been over times, lifetimes. I'm seeing decades for some reason. In the way this is, it's like a decade. So, and they've made it out farther, closer. So it could be somebody,
Not likely.
We could say from the past, or it's in your present. Or again, it's of your own energy. I don't necessarily like to express it externally but it is blatantly a rabbit hole that's stepping forward. It's like, it could even be like an earning a trust thing. Earning a trust, possibly even within myself, of that masculine energy. It is masculine, Philip. It is masculine. If it's somebody that's crossed over, sorry, just as that opened up, if it's somebody that's crossed over, they're still keeping an eye on you. Meaning that it's not that they're stuck or anything like that. They have the ability to kind of go I want to say like jump veils or something like that, or whatever we could imagine is the in-between fabric between dimensions, realms, concepts of the mind. Could be a spirit guide, absolutely. They are getting closer and closer to you. They observe to where they can be of assistance. So the way I'm seeing it is, let's just say for simplicity's sake, whatever you're manifesting or moving in towards you, like, but it's a little bit like farther outside in your aura and you're drawing it in. They're like an in-between. They are working with the in-between fabric. Excuse me. And they help determine something. Kind of, because I'm seeing like a sifting through, or if you were like an archaeologist going through the fine dirt. What is that thing when I'm going to call it sifting. There it is. I'm just going to call it sifting. But I think there's like another word for it. Anyway, so this guide or this male that has passed, whether it was a parent or a partner, they are assisting what makes it into, like when you're, sifting and all the fine dirt goes away, what's left for you to receive. And then it's like going from higher self to human self. But this in-between bridge, there's an energy there. Okay.
Undecided.
Yeah, because you might be undecided about things. And then it's also like I'm hearing about, it's not even undecided. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. But for me, the way I'm seeing it, it's like if you were, in this archaeological kind of thing that's going on, if there might be a little piece of clay, or there might be a piece of pottery, or there might be a piece of wood or an old nail. And it's like I'm trying to date things. And even though it might look like nothing, but to an archaeologist archetype, that is me. It's a telltale. It's the piece of a story, some point of history, which is kind of letting me know that you might have like lifetimes with this energy, spirit guide, parent, or partner, whatever the case is. They've been with you for quite some time. I just heard you exchange roles. You do this for each other in different lifetimes, whatever the incentive kind of is, or whatever the best timeline and time space that you are incarnating in is for, like, what is the best conditions for certain things to happen. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I will start adding on Oracle in a moment, Tarot and Oracle. I'm seeing marshmallow fluffs. Did this come up on the other side? Or is it just my imagination? Sorry, give me a moment. Yeah, strawberries. They're still here. They're still here. It's like I can't unsee them, which is fine. It's like a very happy unbirthday. So a very happy unbirthday to me. To you. There's some sort of like, okay, so the way I'm seeing it is even so, like somebody's squishing heads and you're like, I squish your head, I squish your head, I squish your head. Something along that lines. But then there's this fun place of like playing with a marshmallow candy of some way, and you can see it bounces back. It's also a pink skunk. The color pink might mean something to you, like the frequency, the vibrancy, of pink. Not necessarily if you're like, I don't like the color pink. You don't have to like the color pink or dislike it. It's like happy birthday, happy unbirthday.
Shiver.
There's something about boundaries that's going on about it. But when I see it scrying through here, it's like I can see this face. Almost like Uncle Fester or some sort of character creature like that. And they're coming in with like manifesting blades, but they are surrounded, supported by love. There's also something about what's on your shoulders. Again, I'm seeing like spirit around you, spirit of afterlife or residual energy. I'm not sure if it's being drawn in or drawn out, but it's in the shoulder area. It's in that shoulder area. It's almost like if somebody was, again, maybe this is why somebody's, or some sort of energies, clarify your intentions, please. Because it's like when you're supported by not the weight of the world, but it's almost like that's the point. To carry love, things that have the frequency of love, and pink doesn't have to be associated with love for you, but for me in this space, this kindness, or my love to not be taken advantage of, but to have it be advantageous to both parties, like music. Okay, Virgos, technical difficulties all over the place in your reading. I believe we ended off here with the music. And this is what it makes me feel. I want to feel. Like, I feel like that's reciprocal. Any sort of consequences anyone might have felt that they have gotten away with, they're coming into play. They're coming into play because even the things that were unsaid, unspoken, and forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but I've just been like through a whirlwind in your reading. It's very odd. But with the next two cards that kind of came up, it makes sense. It makes sense why I feel like I'm, yeah. Okay, let's carry on here. So I was seeing a pouch in here, and not only just a pouch, I'm seeing that what I was talking about earlier, that archaeological, like vase, pieces of porcelain or clay. There's some sort of pouch or pot or vase being put back together. All the pieces are coming together. And this is a very sweet, sweet feeling because you have so many layers of spirit working with you. When I say spirit, I mean spirit of things, energies, entities, elements, this, that, or the other. You have a stingray in here as well. If a stingray means anything to anyone, or that symbol, spirit animal, spirit guide stands out. You have a lot of dragon-esque energies, but they're not fully formed. So, and I don't know if that's just because of the way I'm not seeing them or the way they're just fuzzy for reasons unbeknownst to me. I also am seeing a love potion here, witches and warlocks. And down here, depending on your age, it's like an old school nutcracker. And then for others, I'm seeing it as, I can't remember what it's called. A roach clip. And I feel like if you can place those symbols somewhere, like you would understand the value of them toward, it's like we're speaking in a dream here. I want to note there's like this feathery feeling along the way. And in your... Okay. So again, I can't remember, so bear with me if I am repeating myself. There is an energy here that is saying F you to this energy. This is how I'm seeing it. Like they're like giving the finger. And when I wander into what is the void, the subconscious, the magic, it's almost like you're not done to complete something, but it's almost like whatever this healing thing is for you specifically, whatever journey this is, you are reaping the rewards of accountability for something, for going through the process.
iScry with Stephanie.
Oh, that's amazing. Hi. Because again, down here where I saw, and if I didn't share with you, hopefully I'm now in proper timing, I was seeing an Emerald City. This Emerald City, if you're on a phone, you can zoom in. But the point being of this constellation of Ursa Minor, because it's like music. As people step in and out of your life, it's like you can hear them like that harp, like music. And it's like it's either heart opening, heart closing. Maybe it also, because I'm seeing it wander out to your hands, to your feet. It helps you relax. It helps you rise up, empowers you. Anyway, the point being of like this constellation, if I'm following the coloring, I'm actually seeing that Emerald City turn into a crown indigo purple city. And I feel pure as snow. I feel very, very supported by so much. And I feel like this is important as I'm moving into this, because this is where I feel like I'm at or moving through. There's this fluidity. So where I started getting into the troubles of recording and stuff is when these two cards came up. So for some Virgos, I feel as though it's like it could happen over lifetimes, timelines, space time. I'm not sure what it is, depending on your personal preference of perspective and awareness of the possibilities of all that is. I can't help but feel that there might have been someone, something,
I remember
or
you.
of yourself, that it feels like your frequency has been hunted. And before the cameras went all tomfoolery on me, it was when I acknowledged this. For some, I want to say, if you've, I don't know if I want to say active or passive per se. I'm not going to make that judgment. It's almost like you are free from the hunt. Okay? You are freeing yourself from this hunt. Okay? And I feel like somebody needs to hear that. But because it's been going on so long, because they've also, whoever this is, whatever this energy is, maybe it's something you sense in the collective, this hunt around for certain freedom of frequencies, right? I never really know if it's personal and individual to very much so interconnected. So Virgos, this might be something you're sensing amongst the nature of all that is. But then in some instances, you might be very much so able to personalize it, to go, yeah, I kind of been feeling that way. And if it's not your scry story, it's not your scry story. But thank you for holding space for others to receive theirs. But I kind of want to say you are free from this hunt, because you've dealt with whatever consequences at a certain, I'm going to say level. I'm just going to say level, because of the coloring that's indicating that. And now your freedom is gold. But there's still something to be said for I'm not free. No, that's not the way to say that. Can we clear it? I'm not hiding. I'm not hiding. If one truly believes or considers that you're still working towards a certain freedom of an energy, a certain freedom of a hunt, this is external towards you. You're no longer hiding. So whether that is in love or the bravery, the courage to go for the job you really want, whatever the case is. Do you know what I'm saying? You're no longer hiding, and that's how you know. That's how you know. On the other hand, there may be some Virgos. Sorry, I have to keep checking because your reading has been like just very interesting. You are on the hunt to what will make me feel free. And I say me because that's how I'm feeling being a guest in your aura. So thank you. What will help me feel free? What am I hunting for? And I feel like, if I'm being very honest, I feel like I'm moving towards music. Music makes me feel free. I am making a wishing
Wednesday.
well. Is this a well? Loyalty has come through, and messages. I'll take 2 more before I share them with you. Thank you. Love. For some of you, this might be very much so.
Bathroom.
Okay. You got lots. Looks like, okay, so by moving through that, as irritating as it was, for me at least on this end, so for you it might be as well. But now we're getting into it. This wishing, I'm seeing it as a wishing well, because I'll show you in the ink blot as well in a second. And this loyalty.
Ophiuchus.
This is what I'm seeing is like the well of wellness. Like, it's like you went into the dark waters at night. Because at some point in time, maybe you had to hide something. You had to protect something. Or you were holding something back, holding something back, holding something back. If this was even a part of you. And now it's like I've been able to climb out of the well and meet this other part of me that has been in there for a little bit. I want to say like in the whole. I don't know if this is financially, in relationships, romantic, friends, social circles, jobs, whatever the case is. This other part has come up. It's like I sent part of me, which I kind of want to go back to this whole time thing. Time, space, time travel. Like when maybe you had dropped in this hunt, right? When the hunt is after your freedom, I feel like there's that chance it's been happening over lifetimes, time, space, times, whatever the case is.
Always.
So yeah, it's like it's always been there. And now I'm climbing out, and it's like I need to take a moment to rest. Not necessarily hide, but rest and recuperate with the other versions of myself, the other archetypes of myself, and say, we've been waiting. Okay, rejuvenate. Make your wish while you're here for the work that you've done. Thank you and gratitude. Throw a coin in there, make a wish, because it's going to come true. Because you were loyal to something that I believe is your own love and self-worth. And you have so much of this, thank you, around here. The boundaries of that, the witches and the warlock, the masculine and feminine energies of oneself first, but it's like really I'm holding that gift of another, I don't want to say another version of me, another conversational part of my consciousness. That's just how it's coming out. Peaceful. And I might have been stung before. Is this a pouch, a pot, a vase of peace? I'm putting my piece back together in pieces. This also could be a piece that I feel like is locked away. It's like, well, how do I get in here? How do I get into this? Interesting, because on this side, and I'm seeing it now, is like, so C might mean something to somebody, or an E, the letter E, lowercase specifically. There's not an opening, but on this side of the ink blot, there is. So it's almost like left eye, right eye, left eye, right eye. Maybe changing up some sort of perspective. Somebody's holding dearly the wish that they want, the wish that they want. You've come up, this part of you, this subconscious space, whatever this case may be. You brought messages up from the well, new visions for what you want for yourself. There's all this purity happening here.
Tell me about
purity
it.
With the polar bear. I know, right? Like, tell me about it. Purity with the polar bear. Purity with these strawberries and spirits here. The feather dusters, even with the gold. My ideas are worth picking at, like the things that I want to create and contemplate.
Pathetic.
I really feel like there's this energy, or it's a mindset, or it's your voice, some inner voice, that when I try to apply a kindness to myself, a worth, something idiotic or pathetic needs to, like, I don't know if this is what I'm saying to myself, or maybe even how I'm viewing something else, like, well, your efforts are pathetic. Does that make sense? Because I don't know if there's something about the language that it's like the love language of life. That's what it makes me feel like, the love language of life. And I am tuning into this like messages. You also might be getting visions, Virgos. Like it's like in that whole manifesting thing, because you got like master manifestor magician kind of vibes here. But that doesn't mean my
In
purity
front of you.
is passive. That doesn't mean my purity, my kindness, my worth, and what I apply to others' worth as I see them. Because I feel like I've been through something quite significant. Again, could be over eons of sorts. Okay. All right. Let's get ready to close out here. So I kind of want to extend that. Well, you have these, it's like I'm seeing like it's almost like a hurt lover from another lifetime. And this love potion was in there and it got smashed. And then it's being put together because the vase still has value. It's like you were willing to sacrifice this thing that you had made or cultivated to hold it. And now you're putting it back together over lifetimes. So some might, again, be doing like soul retrieval, lots like multi-dimensional healings. I'm not really sure. This is where I feel like I'm at now, in the sacredness of pausing. And your reading has been wild. And I say, like, just in the experience of trying to present it to you. This aura adventure has truly been adventurous. So when we're talking about like coming up from the well, and for most of us, I shouldn't say most of us, but for, some were in the winter season. For others, it's your summer season. But it's like incubating. That rest is happening. My dreams, my visions, having prophetic dreams where messages are coming in. And I want to note like this love and loyalty. It's like if I'm ready for love again in one way, shape, or form, even in friendships, it doesn't have to be romantic. I have to unhide to have that happen. Because I now know it's almost like by this hunt, it has that I'm healing from or have healed from is not going to hinder me. Because now I know my worth. It's like the very action of the hunt accentuated that for me. And now I just have bigger protective measures going on. Because now, Virgo's, the way I'm feeling it is I'm transforming into I don't know. And this may be what I'm manifesting. This may be what I'm like. It's funny because I'm seeing this like a devilish face. It's got its tongue sticking out. And for some that might be really frightening. What am I turning into? And somebody might question that within you. And it's not, not that we can't take criticism or constructive criticism that may be helpful. But again, the way people's love language towards you is very revealing. If something is like, well, why are you changing? I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a clarifying conversation, but there's something in a tone. But even your tone, Virgos, because I feel like that's a layered love language that you understand and maybe are really connecting into your own of how you speak to yourself, to your own self-worth. It's like, what am I saying? And then what's my tone? And then what's the emotion really attached to that? Hidden, unsaid, or very clearly spoken. Because with the Nutcracker and the Roach clip here, it's like I'm getting down to specifics. Because I am free and I want to remain free, but that also means I need to respect my own boundaries and beautify them. Give them life to be boundaries that are blissful. I hope this makes sense, Virgos. Part of me just wants to just scrap it and go right from the beginning, but you know what? I'm going to leave it as it is.
Leave.
Okay. Let's go with your angel card number closing out for Virgos. Crazy. I am stable. I am a creator, and I am disciplined. Zero, 0, 0, and 31. To me, this is really coming into that concept that if there was a feeling of being hunted by a specific energy, this, that, or the other, it's closing. It's like you're at the end of the month and it's almost February, or it's at the end of the month and it's the next day. You know what I mean? Something along that lines. And through this, I feel like you are stabilizing. You have been stabilizing, but now it's like, oh, I'm stable. You bring stability and rationality to any situation. You are the rock, and your hard work and perseverance make you a dependable friend, partner, and colleague. This could also coming back to like your kindnesses. Maybe they've been taken advantage of. Maybe you've taken advantage of your own kindnesses or others, and you're holding yourself accountable for that. Whatever the case is, this is, and talking of that love language, at least the way I was bringing it up is that this is, I am stabilizing what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and I mean what I say, and I say what I do. And I am understanding the worth of my words spoken and unspoken. Life is but a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope it will meet again. And then coming into 000, I am a creator.
Drip.
You are the one. Oh, sorry. You are one with the creator. And there are no limits to what you can achieve. You have the ability to create something new and incredible in your lifetime here on Earth. Okay. So I got to come down here because this is what I feel like we've been talking about down here. Your ideas, the Emerald City to the like Amethyst City or Indigo City. And it's all, because this is the side face. This is all within like the back of the head down through the spine. This is being created, sacral and heart space on Earth. You also have like a very large giant energy. This feels definitely spirit guide-ish. He's very, very large. I want to say like 10 to 14 feet tall. Like he's massive. I don't know what timeline he's from. He has a smaller head but a bigger body, and he walks slow. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that there. And then last but not least, you have I am disciplined. 31. Maybe this has been happening since you're 31. Maybe it's been 31 days, 31 weeks, 31 hours. Your approach to life is an effective mix of both practicality and imagination. Your mind is stirring with creative ideas, and you have the organizational skills to manifest them into life. And I feel like I got to say, like you are manifesting. And this healing, and I'm going to say healing, and I don't necessarily like to toss that word out willy-nilly, but it is all this stirring. The stirring. Sometimes you have to stir the pot in maybe what's happening in your life, in your own thoughts. Shake them up and go, what? I am, even the creative ideas with the sacral, organizational on Earth. How do I stir the pot, see where the soup settles, and then take a test taste to see what I need to add? I feel like I'm all over the place here. But I want to note, it's because there's something I can blatantly sense that I have gone through. And Virgos. And while that is acknowledged, and for whatever work within the well that you've done by going deep within, the work and effort to climb out, sit, restore, recall, maybe even capture it in some other way before you start living it out, if you're not already living it out. Let us not make it harder than it is. Give yourself time and grace, because that's how I'm feeling. Because wherever you're stepping towards, I feel like it's music. And music that you're making. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Virgos, thank you so much for being my muse. Apologies, sorry, not sorry for any sort of technical difficulties. I don't know. There's somebody up in your reading that doesn't want you to know that you are free from it. And until next time, I'll see you either for a bonus or for a fresh ink blot for February. Either or. Until then, thank you so much for scrying with me. Ooh la la. Ooh la. Somebody else might be into palmistry. I don't know if palmistry is something in the Virgo collective they're looking at, but I would. Okay.